Z, arguably one of the best MultiVersus players, not exclusively in this tournament, but also inside of the community right now, and is now fighting for survival inside this losers finals, which I'll remind viewers is going to be a first to 3, otherwise known as best of 5, meaning you will require 3 separate wins to move into grand finals here.
If you're thinking about this, especially with the dominance that FPZ sent meowmix to losers finals, this is kind of the I want my revenge. I want to get that second chance, but Costy also wants a shot at that final boss.
And you know,
you want to make it to the end of this bracket and get one more go at it.
It's hard because Costy eliminated so many strong players earlier, like Wisp, who eliminated both Leviathan, the 2nd seed in this entire tournament, and Super Bandman. So Costy is not someone to sleep on right now, and he's kind of showing it here right now, getting 49% already on Harley Quinn, and meowmix, arguably the best Harley Quinn inside of this bracket. I should say second best because FTZ was a Harley Quinn main inside of this bracket. And meowmix,
that is exactly why meowmix has that has the technology on lock, is willing to go for some of the longer combos. But as I'm talking about the longer combos, Witz is still going. Harley has not really been able to land. Oh, gets knocked out of the grapple. That was key.
I like how Harley is not backing out from any of this, even with that high percentage. And because of the rage, we're seeing additional damage going out on Batman. Look at this. We're already at 55% right now on that Botman. Has to respect that Batarang. Is enough to kill.
Had to respect the Batarang. Did not respect the Batarang.
She said, see you later, Puddin', and got knocked out.
Ooh. Love that, the trade. All right, Batman comes on top there. What's going to happen?
Okay. I respect that slide. Very, very safe. Very, very active.
There's a bomb right now that's going to go off. Doesn't get a huge follow-up from it, but often what Batman's looking for is to use that bomb either to confirm after it or basically use it as a form of pressure, where you either have to hold it or you have to get that dodge and burn a resource.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned earlier inside of this bracket, specifically top 8, Costy is one of your favorites in terms of adaptation. Are you seeing some adaptation right now from Costy that you didn't see at the beginning of this bracket?
Not anything different from the last set, but definitely a more polished punish game in neutral than we saw at the very beginning of the bracket. I do think it helps that this is now the second Harley that Costy's had to play against. You're not making the character adaptation, you're making the immediate swap to the player adaptation.
My God, look at the speed with which this Batman is moving. You know what's crazy? I don't believe that Batman is not a bat right now.
Kind of feels like that, using the sonar to just scope out some of these, like, oh, you're coming out, I know that you like to panic air dodge in to try to get closer to the stage, so I'm going to go out, threaten, and then immediately cover where you're actually going.
Using that echolocation to go ahead and locate a possible knockout right now. Max weekend stacks right now. One more super... okay, see, that was a dangerous challenge. That was a dangerous challenge. Got the Batarang bomb, got those weekend stacks on there, is looking at just basically the back and forth, not getting the up special, but does get the side air to go ahead and finish that into an up special, securing that very first match of losers finals for Costy here. And look at his face. He knows that that was a stressful match. That meowmix is not going to make it easy for him here.
See, I mean, you were asking about the adaptation from set to set. I don't know if there was adaptation from Costy from set to set, but I think carrying the momentum of, I just beat Earth to Kenny, I just beat Wisp, I can just keep playing right now. I don't need to worry about the, like, oh, I got to sit down, I had to wait 15 minutes, am I cold? I'm just running right back in and I'm going to body the next person.
You know, speaking of playing hot here, one of the things I also noticed was that unfortunately meowmix wasn't really able to capitalize on any of that ignite damage over time, otherwise known as a dot. This is actually the very first time we're seeing Treehouse here. That's anywhere inside of the top 8.
How is it the first time? Yeah.
No,
everyone's been big fans.
This is an infamously unpopular stage.
I know it is.
Everyone's big fans of Treehouse, not you trolling. I love it. No, but truthfully, the stage selections that we have here inside of 1v1 format are very fun, are a huge variety, and Treehouse is no different. Now, Treehouse actually has a very low floor inside of standard here, and you can see like that blast zone is non-existent. Yeah, you probably thought that meowmix probably thought he had a little bit more space and more time there. Did not. And it's interesting because this actually was meowmix's counter pick. So he should have been aware about the low floor.
Sometimes that just happens, though. You think you get a little bit more time, you think you have a couple more seconds
and you
to choose your spot, and suddenly you are just gone.
It's gone. It's out of there, you know? See you later, Puddin'.
That was a wild reverse.
See you later, Puddin'!
How does that hitbox work that way?
I'm going to stop saying it now.
meowmix is not surprised like I am. It's all right. It's the Harley thing.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Birds of Prey, which is why I personally believe that this bat is nothing compared to this Harley Quinn. And I think meowmix is feeling kind of the same on this counter pick.
You're thinking about the canonical version of these two characters
Is
fighting.
this not canon right now? They are fighting in the air in a tree.
Then why aren't we in the Batcave?
Because they flying, honey.
Sure. All right.
Look, it's a bird, it's a play, it's a tree fort, it's a bat.
Okay.
All right?
Fine. Fine. Let's
now,
go.
as we move into this fight right now, we do have that Ignite coming out. We're looking at a lot of movement here from Costy, trying to get his bearings after that bat bomb goes off, gets the Batarang off, and what we're seeing—
It's another one of those hitboxes.
No follow-up.
meowmix is so good at getting that surprise. Like, I know that this goes in a circle around me. I can hit you with the back hit of it. We've been talking a little bit about— Never mind. Okay. All right, we've been talking a little bit about Ignition. Do you want to explain for the people what that means in terms of Batman's gameplay?
Oh, yeah, certainly. So Ignition is actually a Harley Quinn passive, and it basically comes from actually using any of her traps. After you hit them, you do actually get a status proc, which basically does a small amount of damage over time. And if Harley, or inside of a 2v2, if any of Harley's allies hit you, it actually goes ahead and ignites you and does what's known as like a small bomb, where you get like a small AoE attack. Basically, you get 5, you take additional damage over time.
And it does that little bit more of knockback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
some combos aren't going to be possible without it, and that's
true.
very important to be aware of.
So a lot of the setup comes from making sure Harley's able to set up those boxes like right there. And honestly, meowmix just has to be really careful. It's 90%.
That Batarang saved Costy there. Wasn't going to be at a kill percent, but Harley was chasing. Harley was trying to get something going there.
You don't want to be at 95% with those weakened stats like meowmix is right now.
Now has burned so many resources. Okay, does get back to stage. Let's see here.
Okay, good dodge. Good dodge. Has tons of dodge meter right now. meowmix is one of the characters in bracket right now that has been really good at saving up dodge meter. Yeah, almost got Ignite right there. Needs one more attack. Gets the weakened stacks there. Batarang to keep her off. And is just trying to let those stacks dissipate before he goes back in. Costly, I think, is kind of known for this so far, just for me. But he's been really, really good about the very last stock or the very last knockout opportunity. Just waiting until all of their recovery options are out and then going in for safety purposes.
Yeah, you watch a lot of Costy, and it seems like he's playing super aggressive. He's getting these big combos, but is also totally willing to just sit back. I'm going to let you burn your resources. I'm going to let the ignition or whatever stack happens to be on you go away, and then I'm going to choose my spot.
And that's a sign of understanding the neutral. That's a sign of understanding advantage state. That
that would have been big.
And this is what I was talking about. That was actually uncharacteristic of Costy to follow along at that percentage on final
Does
knockout.
it again!
Does
it again!
What an upset for Costy there! meowmix putting himself on the board, 1 up beside that loser's finals. meowmix, you better go, honey! You better go, honey! Show him who's the bird of prey, baby!
We are pretty far away from the players. There is still absolutely no way they didn't hear that. They for sure heard that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No, we saw the pop-off.
Oh, we saw
the
it.
pop-off. The pop-off
I mean, that was huge.
That was the final moments going into that jackbox, and I just want to really shout out meowmix for the setup here. Watch this. You think that Costy's in effect. Watch that grenade bounce him down and out of the tree. That ain't a bird. That ain't a plane. That's a bat, honey. And they glide, they don't fly.
Yes, they're not flapping. They're moving around.
All right. So we are currently 1-1 inside this losers finals. 2 more wins for either of these players will secure them a spot and grand finals with a possible reset against the #1 seed FPC. It's really just a matter of who is going to get it.
I just can't get over how big of a swing that last stock was.
Oh no, that was hype. I'm sorry for screaming in your ear, honey.
You do not need to apologize for that. But how big of a swing that was, especially right after we had just talked about how precise and how Costy's really picked his spots and not overextend. Overextend just once, and meowmix is all over it.
For sure. You're seeing a lot of, I know I talked previously inside of this game about how Batman doesn't have any armor, but Batman does have some moves which are certain types of invuln on startup, and that's what you're seeing him use a lot of here. Costy's very, very careful to use a lot of these invuln startup. The spike straight down, honey. That ain't Falco, that's a bat.
We got different birds, we also got just different species going on. Let's see, the bomb uses the dodge to get away from it. Burns that resource.
Okay. Good weak
by another batarang.
Yeah, we like to see it. Comes out of there because the Batman passive now has the weak stacks. I haven't actually speaked about this inside of here, but Batman passive.
That felt really, either there was way more damage on Batman than I had realized, or that felt very early to me.
You have to remember that Sky Arena has really low ceilings. And so when meowmix follows up with Harley, you get the opportunity to get these really early low knockouts, and that's kind of why meowmix is just now taking the opportunity to kind of follow up. The momentum is back on his side. You said Costy is playing hot, and that is true, but meowmix is awake and ready to scratch, honey.
Especially after that last game. I think there may have been a little bit of like, I haven't played in a bit.
You think he heard me earlier when I was screaming maybe?
Oh,
you think maybe he hyped
I wonder.
He got a little bit hype? you think he understands a little bit bias behind this desk over here? Okay.
Yep. Oh, wow. Just runs away from the bomb, which is smart, but allows Harley to get any space she wanted back on that stage.
No, and I love Costy following up here. That was a really good dodge, obviously, by meowmix, but they're just trading the aggression here. They're trading the advantage, and I think they're both really comfortable doing it. Now, earlier, I talked very briefly about Batman's passive. What it actually does is whenever he goes inside a smokescreen, he actually empowers his auto attacks, so they actually apply weaken. And that's kind of what he's been doing inside of these. He's been putting down that smoke bomb, getting those weaken stacks on there passively, either through his auto attacks or through that smoke screen, and just waiting to go ahead and up special to get these knockouts on meowmix.
It feels like Costy's going for a lot more of these dive kicks than before.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was an interesting
Some
grapple.
of these grapples, see, 4 stacks of weaken like that on this low of a stage at that percentage,
you're done.
It's over for you. It's over.
Let's see. Costy's got the one stock. Like we said, we've gotten the one best of 5 in winners. Now it's in losers.
It's very, very close here. It's incredibly, I almost feel like it's tantalizingly, disgustingly close for this very next knockout right now. This very next knockout right now for Costy. He is sitting on 3 stacks of weaken on meowmix right now. Just has to. I think he really, really wants that 5 to go ahead and get that up special because he can kill at 60% with it.
Doesn't get the follow up afterwards.
With no weaken stacks, it's not good enough. You have to follow up with those weaken stacks, and that is going to secure Costy yet another point inside of this first to 3 set of losers finals right now. Costy is feeling nice. Look at his face. He's just kind of chilling. He's just kind of relaxing. He's winking over us at his cam. He said, "I see you. You see me? I see you."
You gotta do that. It is so easy to get in your own head, to get the turning nerves. It doesn't matter how far through bracket it can hit you.
Anywhere.
If they're like, oh, I need this. I need to make either a big upset, or I have to get this in order to get the W, or I got to make it to the spot in bracket. If you're able to just stay calm and focus and really play your game, you are at an immense advantage.
It looks like meowmix is actually taking him back over to Tree Fort, which I don't disagree with. I will state that meowmix didn't necessarily excel on this stage. If you recall, the very first stock actually went to Costy at the cost of meowmix not recalling that the floor is very low here. But as we start out here, meowmix immediately gets 31% on Costy's Batman and gets an a knife prod off, which does help quite a little bit inside of meowmix's favor. Gets the advantage already, and that was actually the very first hurt we saw on meowmix from Costy inside of the set. You know, I'm never surprised to see the aggression with which Costy comes out regardless of the percentage, regardless of the stock advantage. Costy just knows when Batman wins and goes in.
Costy doesn't seem to care as much about the damage or the percent, but more of I'm picking my spots, either with whiff punishing or I know that you're out of resources, that sort of thing.
So talk to us about the importance of placement inside of platform fighters like this.
I mean, spacing is huge. This isn't a lot of other games, especially like 2D fighters. If you hit a move, you know it'll always link into something else.
Yeah.
For platform fighters, it's so important to like, not only do you need to hit the move, but you need to hit it at this certain spot of the hitbox, whether it's like I need to hit with the high part above my head or in front of me. Because combo routes totally change depending on where you're getting hit. Like that. Oh my god, okay, we're getting even up again.
Just trading for free, and this kind of talks a little bit about that placement like you said before. meowmix being very careful about remembering where they're recovering to and what they're recovering on, and we're watching Costy kind of cover all of this range literally on the stage, talking exactly about where you recover, where you sit, where you set up. You know, and I think placing, like you said before, is very important inside of platform fighters for the exact reasons that we're seeing right now in this match.
Spacing is key. It's the reason it's fundamental in every single platform fighter. If you get your hit, but you're putting yourself into a dangerous spot, that's how you overextend. Even if you're like, yeah, but I got the hit, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
What just happened?
Ran out of recovery, yet again, was not close enough to the stage. That was actually similar to the very first knockout that we saw at the first game, in the second game of the set. Wow.
Evens it up, and you know what? That is some mental fortitude, because there are times where platform fighters are special, because sometimes you just can throw yourself off the stage.
I would not have lived. I would not have gotten that knockout.
Yeah, there's so many times where you're like, I did this to myself, and now I'm just mentally drained.
If you look at the player's face, you can see the concentration they have right now.
You would never know that there was an SD. Let's see here. Gets the bomb going up, and that's it. Evens it up. We are going to a game 5 here.
Look at meowmix here. We got that long shot. Can we get the full player shot here? Please stream. Just look at that dedication on meowmix down there at the bottom right now. We're getting the zoom in, obviously, on Costy, who's a little bit nervous right now, a little bit worried.
We're talking. I wonder if we're getting some stage thoughts. If we're talking, I don't think we're getting any character swaps. At least not this far into top 8 without seeing them before.
Now, Costy does have stage advantage here and does get to counter pick. And we've seen a lot of trophies edge, of course, just due to the low ceilings. We've seen a lot of Sky Arena platforms. I would be surprised if Costy didn't take him to Sky Arena no platforms like we saw in the very first round of Losers 8 against Takala, where he was playing against Harley. And I think meowmix is worried about that, and I think meowmix has to be prepared to play on a stage with no platforms.
It's one of the big deals about playing in a platform fighter, especially when you get to best of 5, is it's not just the characters, but the stages are so key. If you're
because
like,
obviously they're striking court. Obviously they're striking Harnett Mansion and Batcave here. You're not going to take a Batman or a Harley to Batcave. It's just too small. It's dangerous. There are hazards everywhere.
Let's be clear. Nothing about the IP and the canon and everything. This is just like who likes to kill off the top, who likes to kill off the sides, things like that. But in almost every platform fighter, whoever loses a set is able to then take their opponent to what stage they want. Depends on counter picks, some stuff like that. But having that counter pick advantage is big. That's a very big deal. That's why they're talking for so long to try to figure out what stage they're going to here.
And you know what? That is your right as a player. A lot of people don't realize that they have a few moments in between sets to actually go ahead and kind of like align themselves. Some people like to play hot, as you said previously. It looks like we're going actually to Sky Arena platforms. I understand that. I'm now interested in knowing whether or not Sky Arena no platforms was actually struck. That would make sense to me. But as we go into this final match of Losers Finals, let's get hype for one of these two players moving up, and one of them, unfortunately, possibly
going out at 3rd. I mean, a huge congrats for making it all the way here. But once you get the taste of Losers Finals, you don't want to be done. You're trying to get to Grand.
And you can taste the desperation in meowmix's mix right now.
It's so close.
I like to call this the blender, honey. You know, he's getting his vitamin D in, and that is called defense. You feel me?
I am feeling it right now, but unfortunately, we got those weekends coming out. meowmix needs to get something started, gets the ignite. Oh my god, just gets blown up.
Ooh. Yeah, that's 4 stacks of weekend. Good dodge. Good dodge, though, but ultimately almost no dodge meter until the end of that link right now, and had to sacrifice a good 30 chunk for that. So, dangerous place.
Batman at 125. Harley just needs to get a couple good things going. And
missed the side air. Yeah, okay. I mean, special air, yeah. Ooh.
What happens? They're both swinging right now.
Yeah, you know.
They're both swinging right now. That's how you know.
They're worried. They're scared. And wow! Don't play with her.
No.
Don't play with her.
I think Batman's got something to say about this, though. I don't think we're counting Costy out
no,
quite
not
yet.
at all. Not
Not
at
into
all.
the up special, but dang, that was close.
You know, candidly, good jump reset there. Really good jump reset. You actually get that from jumping on the bombs, as you know. So Harley's just able to live right now, and because she's at 128, she has rage, gets a little bit more damage off on Batman, and is just in a really advantageous state right now.
Ooh, that was a hit after the bomb, but couldn't find a kill from it.
Because Sky Arena is so large right now, she is able to go ahead and use VI to stay inside of these ranges and stay alive a little bit longer. Look at that. Batman, 42% right now, turning into 52 after a very quick exchange with meowmix. She's happy. She's happy with the state of the game.
Yep. This is the pressing your advantage. I love the tiny dodge in order to not have the bomb hit.
Candidly, I don't know who comes out on top here, Wisely.
I mean, it's so back and forth. Right now, it feels like meowmix is definitely the spacing, the neutral of I'm weaving it in and out, and has barely taken any damage since this has started.
Yeah.
Where Costy
good punish.
Went from 40 to 50 to 60, is now all the way up at 106, 109. But Batman tends to get this damage in big strings.
Whoa!
Overextends just a little bit, and meowmix says, nah, your combo's my combo now. I'm taking this hit, and you're off the top. That is huge.
That's going to cost you, Costy.
Wow, especially immediately. We've talked about it kind of thinking of it as extra credit. Has already surpassed, has lapped the damage on that first stock.
Oh, hopefully this trades, because Costy does need a knockout here in order to stay inside of this game. Doesn't want to rack up too much percentage, but is unfortunately getting up to 78% now. Smokescreen does go out to go ahead and proc that passive right now. Auto attacks will go ahead and get weakened. Knocks back inside the smokescreen. Still has the weakened proc. But Harley activates the bomb. Sky Arena is a large ceiling. Do not forget it.
Yeah, that is a lifesaver right now. But Costy basically can't take any more strings or even any strong stray hits.
Yeah.
He's so close to dying.
meowmix is choosing not to follow up here and has that option because
Don't
of the knockout.
That is it. You made your way to grands. You saw him jump out of his seat.
You gotta clap. You gotta clap. You
Jumped
gotta
out of
clap.
his seat. You saw the small hug between competitors. They are emphatic. But we still got FPZ.
We do.
And FPZ's got something to say.
FPZ is actually the person who sent meowmix